For years, we all treated organizational resilience like a fire drill. It was a compliance thing, a plan you tested once a year, filed away on a shelf, and just hoped you'd never actually have to use. Well, that time is over. The rules of the game have completely changed, and what used to be a background task is now, frankly, a critical board-level imperative for survival. And this really gets to the heart of it. This isn't just about keeping the lights on anymore. The ultimate responsibility for an operational failure and all of its messy consequences has officially moved from the server room right into the boardroom. This is no longer just an IT problem. It is now a fundamental issue of corporate governance. And this isn't just some passing trend. It's being written into law all over the world. We're seeing it with the EU's big Digital Operational Resilience Act, DORA. We're seeing it with the UK's really tough new regime, and in Australia with their APRES CPS 230 standard. The message from every single regulator is identical, and it is crystal clear. Get this right, or you will face the consequences. So if you're still treating this new reality like just another box-ticking compliance exercise, you are making a profound and dangerous mistake. That old way of thinking isn't just outdated, it's a direct threat to your entire organization. So why? What's the fundamental flaw that makes that old mindset so risky today? Well, it comes down to our almost total dependence on a tiny, tiny number of hyperscale cloud and SaaS providers. Think about it. Our modern global businesses, everything from banking and healthcare to aviation and retail, are all built on the exact same digital foundations. We've effectively engineered an entire global system with a single massive fault line running right through it. And this is what regulators are talking about when they use the term concentration risk. This is not some abstract academic theory. It is now seen as one of the biggest systemic threats facing the entire global economy, because when one of these critical providers has a bad day, guess what? Everyone has a bad day. And we've all watched these dominoes fall over and over again. The massive Microsoft outage, the JLR production shutdown, that unbelievable global disruption from the CrowdStrike failure. Look, these are not disconnected accidents. They are painful, recurring symptoms of that same deep structural vulnerability. You see, an outage at one of these key providers spirals beyond an IT problem almost instantly. It cascades so fast, becoming a financial event, a supply chain crisis, and a market-wide disruption that can poison customer trust for years to come. So in response, regulators are demanding a much more rigorous approach. They expect you to have end-to-end mapping of your critical services. They want you stress testing against what they call severe but plausible scenarios. And crucially, they've put board-level accountability and third-party risk management right at the very top of the list. The days of set it and forget it are gone. And this really brings us to a fundamental shift in thinking. You can't just check for resilience at the end of the process anymore. It's not a final inspection. It has to be a core component of how your organization is designed, built, and governed right from the very beginning. Let's be perfectly clear. Boards simply cannot delegate this responsibility away anymore. There's no passing the buck. They are now personally and very publicly accountable for these failures. This isn't something that can be handed off to a subcommittee or the CIO. It has to be owned, understood, and governed at the absolute highest level of the organization. And the consequences of getting this wrong? They are severe, and they are personal. We are talking about significant fines, direct enforcement action against individuals, intense public and shareholder scrutiny, and a catastrophic loss of customer trust that can take years, if ever, to rebuild. This brings up probably the most critical question for every senior leader listening right now. Does your board actually have the right expertise in the room? The hard reality is that most boards are missing senior professionals who truly get this stuff, who understand the new regulatory landscape, the complexities of different frameworks, and the technical realities of today's digital world. That expertise gap, it's a massive and often totally invisible vulnerability. So the strategic evolution that's required here is crystal clear. This is no longer an IT problem you can just delegate. It's a core governance issue you have to own. It's not an annual box-ticking exercise. It's a continuous, living capability you have to build. And honestly, in a world of constant disruption, real resilience is one of the most powerful competitive advantages you can possibly have. So, how do you actually do this? Well, the goal is to build what we call resilience by default. This means resilience is not a project with a start and an end date. Instead, it's a permanent, living, breathing capability that's woven right into the fabric of your organization's culture and its design. And that capability has to be dynamic. A static resilience plan is basically obsolete the moment you finish writing it, right? Your strategy has to constantly adapt to new threats, to emerging tech, and to the ever-changing expectations from both regulators and your own customers. And make no mistake, failing to make this continuous investment isn't a neutral choice. It has a direct and really corrosive impact on the metrics that matter most: your revenue, the value of your brand, and the market's fundamental confidence in your ability to actually operate when things go wrong. So the mantra for every single forward-thinking organization has to be this: secure by design and resilience by default. It's more than a slogan. It's a profound commitment to building a business that isn't just prepared for disruption, but is fundamentally structured to withstand it. The call to action for every leader, then, is pretty clear. First, you have to elevate resilience from just an operational task to a top-tier, strategic, board-level priority. Second, you must invest in bringing experienced leadership into the room to close that critical expertise gap we talked about. And third, shift your focus from just writing recovery plans to actually embedding resilience into the very design of your services and your operations. Ultimately, it all boils down to a pretty simple choice. The proactive organizations, the ones that truly embrace this new reality, they're going to thrive in this uncertain world. The reactive ones, who just wait for the next incident to happen, well, they will inevitably become the next cautionary tale we all read about. The only question is, which one will you be?